I got the time up there. It's fine. Okay, right. Thank you, Mike, for arranging it. Oh, remind me, got something for you afterwards. Thank you, David, for your house and sponsoring all the stuff that I didn't eat because I was trying to diet. Although I did break and had a few chips, but it's pretty good. You know what I did before I came here? I had fleshes at 7 o'clock, so I knew I wouldn't have pizza here. That was it's the only way to do it. You come and you sing around, everyone's like pounding a pizza. Like, would you like a pizza? I'd love a pizza. Right?
Chicken, I said, I'll have it later when I come down.
Really? Oh, you did the other way around. All right. Right. Okay. Tonight's topic, actually, it's a bit of a strange topic. And the reason I've chosen this topic is because on Sunday, on Motzei Shabbos, I went to someone's house we ran out of the stupid, those caddy bin liners. So I went across the road and I knock on and like, yeah, come on in. And I come in and I think I can go and get these caddy bin liners from them. And I walked straight into their only grandchild's first birthday party. And they're like, happy birthday to you. Everybody come in, sing happy birthday. And I'm like, oh no, what I just gotten into. And like, what do you need? I'm like, oh, we need those little bin liners because I went to the library. They didn't have any. So like, yeah, sure, we got plenty. So they gave me the bin liners and I'm in the room and so they go, okay, shh. Rabbi Eisenberg is now going to give a bracha to the... I'm like, no, I'm not. So I started talking about caddy bin liners, And after about 30 seconds, everybody started talking over me and I knew I'd done exactly what I wanted to. And I bumped into a guy there, Yoel Levinson. How many guys, do you guys know Yoel Levinson? Yeah? Good guy. And so Yoel Levinson's got a supper club, also with pizza and chips, for a whole bunch of guys that are struggling. And he said to me, oh, we've not had you at our club for ages. I said, all right, let's do something about that. Okay, tomorrow night, you want to come? No problem. I said, like, what's the topic? So he says, speak about the royal family. That's what I say. I was like, speak about the royal family. Why don't we speak about the royal family? What's it, I know it's interesting to speak about Harry and Meghan, but in reality, what can I tell these guys? I want to give them a message. He says, all right, one of the guys had the following question. He said he wants to know if there's so much entertainment out there, why are we always so bored? And I was like, that's an interesting topic. I don't even know the answer to that question. That's what I said to my Motzei Shabbos. I have no idea. It's, I went home and I thought about it. And I went back reminding myself, I think everybody here is sort of old enough or almost old enough. Maybe Mikey, you're the youngest here, really.
No, I am.
You're younger than Mikey.
28.
Oh, I'm 24.
Yeah. So I don't even know, Mikey, you don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know if you'll catch my drift here, just about maybe. But most of you guys will remember. Do you remember tapes? Yeah. Do you remember you had a tape and how annoying it was when you had a tape and you're like, oh no, I hate this song. And then you have to fast forward and like still there. Shoot, I missed it. It's went too far. Then you have to rewind till you found it. You found the bit, and then the tape got chewed up, and even if you ran with it, it suddenly started shaking, and you got like weird noises coming out of the tape, and it was like annoying, but like it was better than a record player because a record player had all that scratchiness, and then you had like Dolby Audio and Mega Bass. Remember that? Like all these bits and pieces that we had when we were kids. Oh, it's such fun, right? So now CDs come on the market. And CDs, it was like, oh, CDs are like 1.5 times the price of tapes. I'm not buying a CD just because I can push the button and move to the next song. But slowly but surely, they're starting to phase out the tapes, and you moved on to CDs. And like you can push the button, and now you have one CD, and you got 12 songs. And the CDs, I remember at least in the Jewish music scene, the CDs only came out once every half a year. You got a Mordechai Ben David, another half a year later you got an Avram Fried, and there were no other singers, and that was all there was. And you had to, keep yourself happy with that, and that was it. And then slowly, and you had 12 songs you could skip back, and do you remember you used to listen to a tape or CD until you got sick of it? Like for 3 months it was in your tape recorder in your car, and your parents listened to it again and again and again until you knew every single note of every single harmony of every single guitar solo, whatever else there was on that tape. Until, thank God, something else came out, and then you did the same thing again for 6 months. And then MP3 CDs came out. Do you remember MP3 CDs? Yeah, now suddenly the CDs didn't only read audio files, they actually were able to read digital files. And you were able to put like 50 songs on one CD. And that was like amazing because you had 50 songs on one CD, and it was just so cool because you could skip around in the folders, and you could put, you could have one CD in the car and actually had 5 CDs. Or the people that had the 5 or 6 CD changer in the car, you had to climb under one of the seats and pull out the piece from under the seats to put in the button. Oh, it was in the boot. Every time you wanted to change CDs, like, you'd get sandwiches of like 6 CDs, 3 of them in the car. Okay, which one we're putting in? 1, 2, or 3. So, and then you move on from there to the iPod, and now you got Spotify Premium, right? As we were saying before, we're talking about, Michael McIntyre has this whole shtick. He says, imagine if you take along your phone, they take every map and every atlas, he says, and you take every CD that you own in your entire house with you. Because literally, if you have Spotify Premium, or even without Premium, you have like 30 million songs on demand. 70. Yeah. They've gone up to 70. Yeah. 70 million songs on demand. You will never, ever, ever run out of music to listen to. You might listen to some really weird stuff. There's some ridiculous stuff out there on Spotify, I'll tell you. But, pardon?
Something acidic.
There's some ridiculous stuff on there out there also. But there's some plenty other ridiculous stuff.
And even during the Safari, you don't have to miss out.
Yeah, and so, pardon?
And even during the Safari, you don't have to miss out.
Even in the Safari, there's enough to listen to. You don't have to miss out if you're going to, follow that. And what happens is you have all these. And my kids have basically grown up with Spotify because we've had it now for a few years, and it comes, if you have the right phone contract, it even comes free with your contract. You don't even have to pay for it, and it's brilliant. But my kids sit there and they're like, they hear the first few tones, they're like, next, 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 next. Then they listen to half a song and they're like, ooh, next, next. And you're sitting there like, when I was a kid, you had 10 songs and you had to wait through those songs. And if you wanted to go next, it was like this really difficult challenge. And now you got everything. And yet, people are like, they go onto Spotify like, oh God, what am I going to listen to today? I don't know what to listen to. Yeah, I don't know what to do with myself. You're just like, whoa, spoiled for choice. I don't even know if I listen to any music today. Yeah, they just go on, they're overwhelmed and they turn it off.
That's the problem.
Yeah, well, what?
If you can only put 10 songs on, you're really going to put effort into getting really good songs.
Okay, maybe, but you only that in the olden days, you used to make you had to make tapes out of so you can make tapes out of CDs. That was big. I used to do that. You used to take a tape and you start recording and quickly stop it and switch the CD and put another, and you made a tape of your 10 best songs. That was already I was 15 when I was able to do that, or 13 when I was able to do that, and that was already a big deal. But in general, you got the tapes that came. You didn't get to choose your 10 songs. Whoever it was that you listened to came out with a tape. There were 10 songs on there. 3 were good, 7 were rubbish, or 5 weren't bad and 2 were rubbish, and you just had to get through that tape whether you liked it or not. Today, you don't have to do that. I grew up, when we had television at home, we had 2 channels in Austria. That's it. FS1 and FS2. FS stood for Fernseh. That was it. There are 2 channels. It was click, click, end of. But have you seen people they get 100 channels and Netflix, and they're like, no, 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 no. And they go to 40 channels, and you're like, gosh, there's nothing on. You're like, 40 channels and there's nothing on. There's sports, there's sitcoms, there's entertainment, there's drama, there's reality TV. No good, nothing's any good. And then they start all over again. They go finish the 40 and you go back to one and they're like, all right, let's try this one more time. Because maybe if I watch it a second time, I'll find something that piques my interest.
Even live sports nowadays on Amazon.
Pardon?
Even live sports on Amazon. Nowadays.
Yeah, sure. You can, what's called, at Prime at tennis. Bundesliga also?
Bundesliga also.
They had what's called, I know they had a bit of the Premier League was on there.
Yeah.
Over Xmas period, they had the Premier League was on Amazon Prime Video. They were, they're all trying.
And in Germany, you can have much how this is.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
Yeah, yes.
Not even in your scrubs.
PBM.
Pardon? Oh, just a PBM. Great. Come on, PBM over here. No, it's great. We're all for it. If it works better for you, it works better for you over there. Right?
Even like that in Germany, if you don't even have Prime, you can't even watch Champions League next year.
Really? But they've bought it out. They bought out the. Right. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Yes, I mean. All right, but they're all trying to outdo each other, whether you have Virgin or whether you have Sky or whether you have BT, they're all trying to, that I have a better sports channel, but people are still scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and yet they're not getting anywhere. So why is it? It's a very weird thing that we have that much choice, and people nowadays, instead of appreciating all that choice and saying, wow, there's so much, you hear again and again, and this is really why he was saying it, all these guys that he deals with, they're like bored on a constant basis. I don't know if most of the guys here around the table, you guys have jobs, you guys have lives. You know, if you sit in front of a television for half an hour at night, you'll find something to watch. It's not the end of the world. You won't be bored. Because the rest of the time, you got what to do anyway. It's not like you got a whole day. Goodness, I got a whole day and there's nothing on Spotify. I mean, how can you have a whole day and there's nothing on Spotify? And, oh, you go onto Netflix, you type in children's films, and suddenly 600 films come up. You're like, oh, what should we watch now? You know, this one's you. No, this one might not. This one, this kid won't like it, and that kid won't like it, and this is too scary, and this one's not funny enough. Why are we so bored with so much
I'll tell you
choice?
something.
Go
I
on,
can interject.
if you can.
What
Please.
do you call it?
Yes.
There's a great advantage in getting older.
Yeah.
Because when I was young, okay, we didn't have that choice that you, as you said before. But I mean now, say even if I'm looking, I might decide to go on iPlayer or go on whatever it is there,
Yeah.
just to find, and it will scroll along. There'll be
All
couple
sorts.
of dozen on something that, you know, interesting or
Right.
exciting. But you reach a stage where, I don't know if it's just me, but I think older, when you get, say, call it past 50 or 60 perhaps, where your mind is just worn out with a choice, and you're just grateful where you can just switch one of the main channels
Right.
and see something interesting. But once it goes into the free view and all this
Yeah.
nonsense,
Yeah.
I mean, for example, I'm a car freak.
Okay.
I always
Really?
have been. Well, not really.
Okay.
But you know, you get just the odd program, you know, and there's just
Well, there's probably a lot of good stuff on cars. If you had Netflix, you could probably watch, or Amazon Prime, you could watch through all the old, what's it called, Grand Canyon, and you got the Top Gears. You know, you got plenty to go through.
yeah, but that's actually quite boring. I mean,
Is it? Okay. Look,
No,
I'm not much of a, you know, I can't.
when Top Gear came out
Formula One.
originally, it was good, you know.
Right.
But now there's some better ones, you know.
Right. Right.
Anyway, I'm glad I've got older.
Okay. No, but the truth is, I think, see, your experience is true, I think, for most people. If you have an idea what you're looking for, what you want to watch, you'll find a lot easier, right? So if I go on and I say, you know what, I like whatever it is, I'll find something to watch easily. You know, I want to watch a comedy now, so I'm going and I'm gonna. So I've already, you know, I like comedy and I like whoever it might be. I don't know. I want to see a comedy with Robin Williams. So it'll be, I don't know, 5, 10, but you'll be down to like a choice of 5. You already have an idea. So that's the first point that I would make, is that the reason why we struggle so much. I'll give you the following example. This is what I was thinking about, and then I'll come to the second bit that I want to speak about. When we have, you know, you have a holiday, and you've gone somewhere. I don't know, wherever you've gone. You're in Spain or you're in Italy, and you got little kids. And some of us are like really very organized. Who here is organized? And before they go, has like an itinerary for the entire trip.
Austrians.
No, not us. We don't. If I, I'll tell you the truth is, if I had unlimited capital, maybe. But like, because it's like you're always thinking about where we're gonna go tomorrow. Oh no, there's 8 of us. That's gonna cost us like 150 pounds. No, we're not going there. You know.
A holiday or business trip?
A business trip is different. A business trip, there's only you, and in general, you usually have an itinerary for that trip because you're going for a purpose. You're going to have these meetings with these people. You're going to sell whatever it is that you're trying to sell, or to meet the people you need to meet. And you'll know that you have to do all of that, and you'll have planned it beforehand. But if you take holiday, most people don't plan their holidays like that. They just show up and they do their own thing, right? And you wake up in the morning, and we always have the same thing. You wake up in the morning like, okay, what should we do today? Yeah, anybody ever done this? What should we do today? And then you pull out your phone and you start looking at different apps, or you start looking on the internet to see what is it that will be interesting to do now. Oh, what's there near here? And finally, But until you choose that, your kids will always say, I'm bored.
It's only since I've had kids.
Yes.
Before I had kids, we've done that.
Okay.
Much to Chad and
Yeah.
Michael.
Okay.
We once went to Norway. Did
Yes.
you come? We went to Norway for
Yeah.
Shabbos.
Yeah.
And we spent more time getting around shuls and shiva houses.
Right, okay.
They needed a minion set.
Right, all right.
We went on holiday for a weekend away and we spent more time in shul and shiva houses.
Brilliant. Okay, that makes a good story, right? So we have this.
We used to have a holiday planned out hour by hour.
Did you?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Well, when we went skiing, we used to have that also. Wake up in the morning, daven, get on the piss right away, ski the entire day, maybe stop for half an hour to have sandwiches, and then get back on the base, you ski, and then you get back home, and you sit there, and you make yourself something to eat, and you watch, and it was Gan Eden. It was brilliant. We went on a skiing trip with 35 Bochum. Oh, boy. That was a real, that was fun. That was great. You know, and that's the kind of thing. But when you have your kids, like every morning you wake up, what are we going to do? And until you do something, everyone's bored, right? Because there's no direction. You have no direction whatsoever. And once you choose, okay, we're going to this park, or we're going to this attraction, or we're going, whatever it might be, you'll make it work and you make it be fun already. When you've not chosen one path, then there's so much, then really you've chosen nothing. And you're sitting there going, I've not chosen anything. Well, of course you're bored because you've not chosen anything. And the problem over here is because you're spoiled for choice, there's so many things to do. You're like, should I do this? No. Should I do this? No. Should I do this? No. So you've not chosen anything. So as long as you're not chosen anything, of course you're going to be bored by it. Yeah?
Isn't it a more general question than that? We're living in a world that's disposable.
Yeah, so we're going to get to that. So we're going to get to that point soon. But that's one issue that you're going to have to deal with, is the fact that you're living in a world that, you know, there's so much choice out there, and until you've chosen, until you narrow it down, you're really nowhere. And as long as you're nowhere, it's a really boring place to be. When you know what you're doing, even if you're going to be doing, you know, we've taken our kids to all sorts of places, and some of them, the kids are like, oh, we're not interested in going there. Sounds so boring. Come on, we're going. And then finally we get there, and then they had a great time. Why? Because once you decide where you're going, you could probably have a good time almost anywhere. You know, sometimes you've gone on trips and you're like, this is going to be such a boring, stupid trip. And then once you've gone, there was a lot better than you thought. Because you've changed your mindset. You said, I'm here anyway. I might as well make the best of it. And then sometimes it's still truly boring. But many times you can do something great out of it. You can make something of it. That's great.
Are you bored because the options are, you've got too many options?
Yes.
Or the options that you do have are a bit...
No, so in general, well, that's what I'm saying. When you got, I'm going back to Netflix or Spotify, you have all the options that you could ask for. So why are you bored? You want to listen to music. There's 70 million tracks. There must be something there that's going to be interesting. Pardon? There's loads of good stuff. You go on Netflix, there'll be loads of good stuff. Yet people like this. You go on television, there must be good stuff, right?
Yeah,
Maybe not.
But frankly, I'm trying to compare myself with nowadays kids to me in all the times.
Yes.
I was bored when I had only.
Can't play yourself.
I know, but I was
Yeah, no.
bored when I had 2 channels as well. I had no choice but to watch them while I was.
And then
bored.
what? And then you made the best of it, so you watched it and it was fine.
Yeah, but that was just probably as.
But nowadays, people don't even watch anything. They've just scrolled and scrolled and scrolled. And he said, then to spend half an hour on TV, what did you watch? I don't know, I watched 3 minutes of this and 4 minutes of that. It was really boring. You at least said that I watched something. What?
Yeah, so has anything changed in terms of boredom? I was bored when I was a kid. And
I found, you know what? I found once I was watching something. I mean, TV is a ridiculous thing in the fact that people can watch it and just focus it on it no matter what. I remember we went on this trip and we had some American guys with us on this skiing trip, and they watched TV that they couldn't understand in German. Literally, they sat and watched for an hour German television. Why? Because the pictures are still interesting and you figure out the dialogue by watching it. They had no clue what was going on. And they still watched it for an hour. They didn't come around and go, that was like the most boring, stupid thing we've ever done. Watch an hour's worth of German TV. No, we watched it. Once you chose it, you usually made something of it. Unless it was really awful television. It was like, yeah, it wasn't bad. Yeah? But they're not even choosing. And which leads me to the next thing. One is making the choice of what you want. And then we move on to the next thing, which is a really, really important point. And I think people misunderstand this point, and it's a problem that our generation has. Is we think the more choice we have, the happier we will be. And in reality, the more choice you have, the more confused you get. And there are 2 concepts. There's a concept, a famous concept in Yiddishkeit, it's called menuchas hanefesh, which is called, we'll call it serenity, for lack of a better word. Yeah? Is that a good way to translate menuchas hanefesh? Yeah, serenity. What's the opposite, by the way, of menuchas hanefesh? What if you ask somebody, what is the opposite of menuchas hanefesh? You know what it's called? True.
Yes.
But what's the Hebrew for it? You know what it's called? It's called pizur hanefesh. You know what pizur hanefesh means? Scattering. The scattering of, when your head is everywhere, it's the opposite of serenity. Serenity is when everything is sort of in its place. It doesn't have to be here. You could have a business in America and you could have a business up north, etc. But if you know where everything is and you know it's working correct, you could have serenity. And you could have a few things going on in Pressrich, but you have no control over them. And it's like, I got to be in 6 places at the same time. I don't know what to do with myself. And you feel torn. And that's not only in that case, but if you move on to one of the most famous Mishnayos that you'll find in the entire Pirkei Avos, Ezu Osha Samech Bechelka, who is truly wealthy, the one who's happy with what they have. Why is that so? Why is it not that the guy's got £1 million in his bank account is wealthier than the guy's got £1,000 in his bank account? You should say, objectively speaking, this guy's got 1,000 times as much as this guy. Yeah. Okay, that's true. That could be. He's got 990,000 more worries. For each path is another worry. But that might be part of it. But
you're generalizing anyway. The person who's got £1 million might be happy with what he's got.
he might. Yeah.
Also be happy.
He might also be happy. And then not only is he happy, then he's wealthier. Yeah.
I think as well, there's another point in here as well. If you looking to when people were younger,
Yes.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to play outside all the time.
Yes.
TV, yeah, I had them.
Yeah.
You Dutch TV 1 and 2, and you're lucky 3 as well.
Yeah.
A bit later in life.
Yes.
But we were playing outside.
You play down
we were
the street.
socializing with
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
What's the guy showing them doing? Drinking in the pub. There are
Right.
people.
Yeah, but were you socializing outside because you were bored?
No, but that's the film. People.
No, wait, nothing. You know what?
It's not because
We
you're
love
bored.
going out. I look back to when I was a kid. I loved playing outside. You didn't love, we had football games. Nowadays, to get a football game going, I don't want to play football. I'm playing Minecraft. Or I'm playing,
PlayStation.
is either my PlayStation or you're playing, what's the other one called?
That's for sure.
Fortnite. That's the one I was looking for. I'm playing Fortnite, And now, Fortnite is crazy. You have these little kids. What was this guy? This guy was making millions of pounds on playing Fortnite. He was caught cheating. He made £25,000 on his apology video. Yeah. Did you see that one? There was a guy that was caught cheating. He was kicked out of the Fortnite club. And then he put out a video crying. He was like 17 years old. He was there are people that are making millions of pounds playing video games. And kids enjoy, pardon?
21 million a year. 21 million a year is the highest grossing one. Somebody just people keep watching him.
Yeah, that's 20. Stupid amount of money. For what? For playing a video game. I love playing video games. I had a Game Boy, but they weren't anywhere near as engrossing as as Minecraft or Fortnite, I'm sure. And you hear some of the stories, some of these, So I've heard of serious gamers. They're serious gamers. I've heard of people that literally they put on nappies because they can't put themselves away from the. I'm not joking. These are true stories. They cannot put themselves away from the computer. That's what they do. Yeah, but this is. It's just a crazy situation.
They film people playing Fortnite.
Yes.
And then they film them and then they turn the TV off.
Yes.
And these are adults.
Yes.
And they totally lost it.
Really?
Literally, they lost it with everything, and they're smashing things, and they're smashing.
It's just not normal. It's just a not normal. The situation is not normal. Yeah.
This on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm sure you can see it on YouTube. Right? But the point I'm trying to make over here is, so why is the guy, assuming, let's say the guy with £1 million is not happy, right? He could be happy. He could be very happy. But let's say if a guy's got £1 million who won't, but the guy who's got £1 million would love to have 2 million because at $1 million he feels I'm doing pretty well, but if I had 2 million, I'd really be solid. So that guy is really, he's missing £1 million. That's what he's missing. He doesn't look at what he has. He looks at what he's missing. I'm missing £1 million. The guy's got £1,000, but he's happy with his £1,000. What's he missing? Nothing, right? And so therefore, sometimes when you're looking for all the things that are out there, you're not appreciating what you have. You're everywhere. So when I have, this is we talk about relationships, and then we'll come back to, when you have a relationship, the way somebody once said it for somebody who is Jewish, secular, whatever, getting married is literally throwing somebody into jail. because when I was single, not when I was single, sorry, not me. You know, when this guy was single, right? Every woman in the world was fair game. Now he's gonna say to all the women, there's 3 billion women out there, and he's saying to every single one of them, you know what? You're not fair game anymore. I'm choosing this one. Well, why should I choose that one when I have everybody available to me? That's it's very limiting. And you're like, is she worth it? Should I really limit myself? What?
Good point.
Yeah, right. I get that. Joe, don't go home and ask. Please don't go home and tell Izzy that I said that. You know, like, you know, Ramai said, I'm not sure I'm happy with you. You know? Yeah. Yeah. But is she worth it? Who said she's worth it? Maybe she's not worth it. But turn the other way around. He says, take somebody who will only have a relationship with somebody when they get married. You know, take a religious person, only have a relationship. So right now there are 0. You know, yes, everybody, you know, potentially. But there's nobody available. There's nobody out there that he could go out with. There's nobody out there he could go clubbing with. There's nobody out there that he could spend the night with and then go along with his, you know, life just as it was. And now suddenly he finds a wife. And that wife gives him stability. And she gives him all the physical pleasures of being married and the emotional pleasure of being married and having a relationship with a woman. This woman has actually taken him out of his misery. He didn't have someone, now he's got someone. The other guy had 3 billion people and now he's got one. So I'm not happy with that. And in reality, the more we focus on one thing and make that one thing the thing that we want to really invest in, the happier we'll be. And so therefore, people say, oh, you know, monogamy, how boring. Like, no, you got it the wrong way around. You might think monogamy is boring because you're not looking for a relationship. If you want physical pleasure, yeah, maybe, you know, monogamy might not be the greatest way. And even there, if you do it right, it could be the greatest way. But if you want to have a real relationship, the only way to have a real relationship with somebody is through monogamy. Start introducing 2 or 3 more people into this whole relationship. You don't have a relationship. Because maybe he's better at that or she's better at this. And you start messing your whole thing up. The more you're focused on one person, the happier you'll be. Because this is my wife and this is where I go to for everything. Whereas the other guy's like, okay, this is my girlfriend for now, but maybe there's better out there. Maybe I can get more. Maybe I can find prettier. Maybe I can find richer. I hate it when people say, you know, somebody does a shidduch and they say, you know, he could have done better. Ooh, I hate that son. You know, people say we could have done better. He met a girl or she met a guy and they're happy. He's done brilliantly. Yeah, that's really the way we should look at it. Not like, no, but he comes from such a wealthy family. Why did he marry such a poor girl? Who cares? He's a happy guy. Why are you ruining it for him? And he wants to spend his life investing in that person. And when you invest in one person, that's when you have something meaningful. And when you're all over the place, you got nothing really. So see, but I have so many people out there. Yeah, think of Facebook. How many friends do people have on Facebook? I remember I tried this once with, okay, I didn't do this in camp because the girls there didn't have Facebook, but you ask people in school, say, yeah, who's got 100 friends? Everybody was there. Who's got 300 friends? More. Who's got 500 friends? A few like. Who got 1,000 friends? And one guy in there says, I got 4,000 friends. I'm like, great. How many of these guys or girls could you call at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're stuck on the motorway somewhere near Rochdale and you don't have AA? How many of them could you call to bring out some water to you to put into your radiator because it's leaking? How many people are there on your list that you could really call at 3 o'clock in the morning? 2, 3, 5? If you have 5, you're really lucky. But I got 4,000 friends. They're not friends. They're acquaintances. They're people that I know. They're people that have stuff to do with. But they're not close friends. Your real relationships are with your close friends. And everybody else, yeah, they make noise. And you can scroll on endlessly on Facebook and see this guy's doing this and this woman's gone there and he's got this. Great. But in reality, the real relationships are always, everything worthwhile is very much in a limited way. In relationships, you know, even with money. It was interesting. I was speaking to my wife about this, and my wife said, she made this comment. I found a very, very insightful comment. She said, you know what, even if we won the lottery, which we're not looking forward to, but even if we did win the lottery, right, I would make myself a yearly budget. She says, you know why? Because if you don't have a budget during the year and you have endless money, you go on a holiday, you come back, you're like, now what? Yeah. If you have a budget, you say, okay, you know what? we won £100 million in the lottery. For the next year, we're going to spend only £1 million every year. Every year, only £1 million, right? That's a lot of money. You don't have to take it down to £20,000. You can make it £1 million. But you say, that's it. That's all we're going to spend this year. So it gives you some kind of anchor, right? Even though it's a fortune of money, but it gives you an anchor. Okay, that is where I'm at. More than that is beyond what I'm going to spend. And I'm not going to do that. And once you're anchored, you have somewhere where you feel, this is what I'm doing. I'm not doing more, I'm not doing less. That's when you start having a bit of menuchas hanefesh. That's where the menuchas hanefesh aspect comes in instead of pizar nefesh. You're not all over the place. I'm right where I want to be. And so therefore you say to people, you got so much entertainment out there. You're looking at you're looking at your Netflix and you're looking at 100 channels on television and 70 million tracks. He says, yeah, but that's not helping. You know why you're bored? A, because you've not made a decision. You're stuck somewhere and you have no decision to make. What am I supposed to listen to now? Like, I don't even know. Should I be listening to classical music? Should I listen to Jewish music? Should I listen to punk rock? Should I listen to rap? Should I listen to comedy? Should I listen to an audiobook? When you got all that, you don't even know what you want to do. It's very unnerving. And then you cannot make the decision. And if you cannot make the decision, you end up very bored because like you keep on switching from thing to thing. All right, I'll listen to an ebook. You listen to 5 minutes of an ebook and you're like, why did I choose an ebook? That was stupid. There's 69,999,999 tracks out there still that I could have gone to and I didn't. And this is the one that I chose from all the 70 million tracks. It's just not good enough. Let me choose something else. So you choose something else, you listen to that for 5 minutes and say, that's not good enough. I'll choose something else. Because you're not anchored. There's just so much out there. You don't know what you want to do. It's everywhere. It's like the guy looking at the 3 billion women saying, why should I choose this one? Why don't I choose a different woman? You're never happy because you're not looking for that relationship. If you're willing to invest in one thing, if you say, I want to listen to A, you can turn it on. You can have a great time listening to that music. Excellent. But it's making that choice and taking all that down, shrinking it down and making a decision. And once you make that decision, that whole pizza and never, that whole being all over the place goes away. And then when you have a choice, if somebody comes in and says, we're now going to listen, you have a friend who says, you got Spotify? Yeah, put on some music. And he puts something on. Now, you might not be into that music, but if you want to, you can enjoy that music. You can. And you won't be bored. You're like, oh, it's not my favorite artist. Okay, but you know what? I'll listen to him anyway, and I'll make the most of it. I'll listen to what she has to, all the tones or whatever she's putting out there. Good. No problem. But if you've not made a choice, then you're constantly going to feel, this is what I'm choosing. No, it's not. I want to choose something else. I want to do something else. I want to be somewhere else. And that's why if there's so much out there, people are always bored because in reality, the more choice you have is not making you happier. It's making you more confused. It's giving you all these options. It's making you less anchored and it's making you less somehow grounded. And the less choice you have, even if you choose something that you're not so into, you can make it work. You can make it be fun. So like you said with the 2 channels, I said, even there are 2 channels out there. I didn't really enjoy watching everything on those 2 channels, but I made it work. So what? I watched channel 1 or channel 2. Which one are you choosing? I'll choose 2. Okay, that's what you're watching now. And you make it work. But if you have 50, I'll watch 1. No, it's no good. 2, no good. 3, no good. 4, no good. Let's go back to 1. Yeah? Then you're bored because you didn't do anything. All you did was skip through the channels and you felt like you've done nothing. That's it. And that's, in life, that's really, it's such a great lesson to understand is that the more anchored you are in what you want to do, in what your goals are in life, I remember I had a Rebbe who said to me, he said, you know what your problem is? I said, what's my problem? He says, your issue is that you never choose one thing and stick with it. You want, one day you said you want to learn Chumash, so you learn Chumash. 2 days later, like, nah, Chumash is not good. I'm going to learn Gemara. So you learn Gemara. And then you say, no, I don't really want to learn Gemara. I want to learn Midrash. Then the next day, I want to learn Navi. Choose something and just stick with it and learn it and know it. Because otherwise you'll end up having learned tons of stuff, but you'll know nothing. Because 2 psukim here and 3 psukim there and you're left with nothing. In life, you have to choose something, have a direction, have a meaning. And if you choose and you have meaning, then you have something. And if you cannot choose meaning, then you end up living your life and you look around and say, I feel like I had no meaning in my life. Yeah, because you didn't choose one thing. You did a whole bunch of little things instead of focusing on that one thing that you think can bring meaning to your life and making that one important and somehow making that really top priority. And once you do that, then you'll be happier. So it's not the extra choice that makes you happy. It's really focus on very few choices and making choices. That's what's going to make you happy. right?
Not
We're running out of
everything
battery here. Any questions? Go on.
Not everything in life we choose. For instance, I came to Manchester to study mathematics.
Okay.
I got stuck here because my wife decided she wanted to live the rest of her life in Manchester.
Okay.
I'd rather live in LA, a sunny country, and everything.
Okay.
So I'd be anywhere in the world, and I've got those choices.
Right.
But she'll say.
What passport do you have, for example?
I've got Lithuanian European passport.
Okay.
I'd
So
love to
does that
immigrate him.
mean you could just move to LA if you wanted to?
With my job, yeah.
Really?
So
Okay.
software
That's pretty cool.
engineering, Yeah.
Okay.
And huge demand for it, or Australia or anything.
Right.
But she made her life here. And
Okay.
And she'll
Sometimes
tell
you
me,
can't make the choice. You know,
Yeah,
somebody else can make the
exactly.
choice for you.
So exactly.
But you
again,
need to
it's
make-
always lingering in your head. Like I'd like to pick up my bags and just go to Israel to Tel Aviv.
Yeah, but you know what? But if that's going to be in your head, then you'll never be really happy.
Yeah.
Because really what you have to say to yourself is, look, we're living in Manchester.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't my choice.
Yeah.
But now that I live in Manchester, I'm just going to have to be happy with it.
Yeah.
What's
It's
my
always
other?
lingering in
What's
head.
your other option? Just living here for years and being unhappy? Why would you do that?
I know it's. I appreciate the fact like Hashem gave me a stable job, really good health that I could potentially do that. But I'm not
And
gonna do
Hashem
it.
gave you a wife who's
Exactly.
wonderful, and they gave you a
I don't
child,
want him to
and
shoot
you're
me-
happy here.
Yeah.
So
I don't want
is,
him to shoot me in the foot and say like, no.
is
I'm
it
gonna
good
take
enough
responsibility.
here?
Yeah.
Is it good enough here? Is it good enough here? That's a bad one, right? If the answer is yes, then make it work. Then you just got to make it work. It's a decision. That's already a decision. Look, the decision's been made for you, so you
I
just
agree
decide
with
whether you want to be happy or not. So you might as well decide to be happy here.
Yeah, I bought the house here. We have a baby here. It's like I'm trying to ground myself, but at the same time, it's always lingering in your head. Like, oh, if my wife said like, okay, let's go to Israel. Brent, my suitcase. is
Yeah, but
ready.
you know what? You can always say that. You can
Yeah.
say, look, I'm going to be happy here. I'm going to make the most of it here. If we ever decide to move, great, we'll move. I would like to move. She would like to move. It's fine. But until she says we're going to move, I'll be as happy as I can here. And I'm not constantly thinking to myself, I wish I was in Tel Aviv, because you'll never be happy here. Because always you want to be in Tel Aviv. And guess what? You know what? You could move to Tel Aviv and then be there for 2 years and go, this sucks. You know, I really like to be in LA. So you move to LA and then you'll be there for 2 years and that sucks. Rather be happy with where you are than saying to yourself, I wish I was somewhere else. Because then you'll never be happy. Because the next place, you could also always wish you're somewhere else. It might not be as good as you think it is in LA or in Tel Aviv or in Australia, wherever you go.
I lived in LA. That's a good place.
Pardon?
I lived in LA. It's a good place.
Okay. Have you lived there married with kids? Different life.
Yeah.
Sorry. You know, it's a it's a different story.
It's very
It's
different.
more,
Yeah.
it's more depressed people than anything else.
Okay. That's because Hollywood's there. Right? Okay. Anybody else? Comments, questions?
They did a study
Yeah.
in America of money, of contentment, from
Yes.
how much money it changes to
Yeah.
more content. So up
Yes.
to $75,000,
Yeah.
you were more content, and then
Right.
after $75,000,
It went down.
It didn't go down, but it didn't go up.
Just
Right.
level down.
Very
So
interesting.
up to 75,000. So that's big. Yeah.
It's very interesting. That what?
That's how
Look,
much Travis want to get
Once
paid.
you hit a minute.
Don't know.
Say
I don't know. You know, it's interesting. You can't look. There's an important point to be said over here. If you can be happy with money. Nobody said that everybody's got money is depressed. That's not true. I know people with money that are very happy, right? They are happy. You can be happy, but the point is, like, you know, even if you have money, then you have to have some form of anchor with your money. What am I doing with my money? How am I using my money? Am I just going to splurge it? Am I going to use it for the right things? If you anchor yourself with your money, you'll be happy with your money. If your money becomes like, you know, I want this, I bought this, no, I'm not happy. I want that, I bought that, I'm still not happy. If your money becomes part of your search for something else and you're constantly searching for something else with that money, which is what most people are doing, they'll never be happy. If you can anchor yourself and say, I have my money, I'm happy with that money, and that money gives me a good life and I can live a good life with it, great. So you'll be happy with the money. Might be even happier than the guy without the money because you can pay all your bills and pay for your kids' weddings and not have to worry how you're ever going to pay for certain things. There's a lot of worry for people who don't have money also. But people who have money think that money will buy them happiness, and they keep on trying to buy things and it never buys them happiness, so they're disappointed. But if they anchor themselves, money's not going to buy me happiness, but it's going to make my life a lot easier, and I'm happy with what I have and the money makes it easier, that's a very different attitude. And then you can be content with money. But that's, again, anchor, and then you can use what you have.
It's funny because you can have everything in the world that you
Yes.
want, but if there's something else available that you can't currently get,
Yes.
and then that thing doesn't become available,
Yeah.
the whole mindset changes
Yeah,
again.
that's right. And that's Ezer Asher Samech Bechelka. Because if you're happy with what you have, you'll stay happy. But if you're constantly looking for that next thing, it says, I'm happy. Oh, I only be happy if I get that. So you're not happy now. Then you got it, you're looking for something else. You're back to not Samech Bechelka. If you're happy with what you have, then you can buy yourself something else.
Yeah,
It's nothing about buying something else. It's just, how can you, yeah.
But how would you say بسماء بخلقه in terms of life goals, and give a very simple example. Let's say a bocher, if it's you know what, no wife, happy life.
You know, I'm going to end the live video because we're running out of batteries. I'll have to end that, but we won't end the
Not
conversation.
for this one.